Okay, so where did I live in Japan? So I lived in two places whenever I was in Japan. I lived in Arakawa-ku in Tokyo. It's a ward. It's part of 23 wards of Tokyo, and I live in the Arakawa-ku ward. And this was a pretty decent place to live. I lived in this guest house for the duration of my stay in Tokyo. Um, the guest house was very, can I say, it was accommodating. It was cheap, but it was very small. You know, it felt like if I just kind of stretched out like this, then I could touch both walls. And basically, the bathroom was like half a closet, something like that. You know, um, it would. I think I slept on like tatami mats for the most part. I had like a futon, and I think I just had like a pillow. You know, I almost froze during like the winter and everything like that, but it was pretty cool. Um, I think I went half crazy. Um, I think the only thing that kept me alive was YouTube videos because there was this computer in the lobby because I didn't have any Wi-Fi. So the computer had internet and stuff like that. So whenever I would plan my day out, I would I would go on the I would go on the computer, and then I would print directions. Well, not print, but take a picture with my iPad, and then I would just basically explore from there, and then just go out. But yeah, there wasn't much room. There wasn't much space. Um, once it was cold, sometimes you had to sleep with your shoes on. Um, I say it was pretty quiet for the most part. There was also like a dryer in the common area, um, but I was actually too tall for my room, so I had to duck down before I went into the mirror to look at myself before I left in the morning. So that was a little bit of a hassle, you know. But other than that, it was all right. Um, it was Japanese living at its finest. um, would I sleep? Would I go there again and live in there? If I had to, I guess if I had to, yeah. But would it be my preference? It wouldn't be my first preference. But I think other Japanese people have even worse accommodations. I think some people live in a closet. You know, and to be honest, like whenever sometimes I would go, and the church that I would go to, I think I actually did sleep in that closet. That closet, it felt good. It was warm and everything. But that's another story. Um, but yeah, that's where I stayed at in Tokyo. It was just in this little, just like one bedroom flat studio apartment, and in the summer I think mosquitoes got in there, so I had to put a net on the vent and stuff. But it was fine for the most part. Um, let's see. Oh, and the other place where I stayed. So whenever I moved, I went to Mocha Tochigi. So in Mocha Tochigi, this is when I ended up meeting my Fijian friend, and he spoke perfect Japanese. So he ended up trying to basically convince me that we all should get together and, you know, pay less rent and have bigger space. So I was like, you know what? I don't really have much to lose, you know? I didn't know anybody. This was like a new setting for me. So it was like, I really just didn't have much to lose. So, and it actually turned out being pretty good for me. Um, I know back in Tokyo, I was eating gyoza, and sometimes I would eat 11 eggs every every other day or every other 2 days. I was cooking gyoza for myself, and then I was cooking 11 eggs. I just kept it basic: eggs, gyoza, uh, grapes, bananas, and then if I'm getting hungry for some real meat or whatever, I would go to Famima or Lawson's and buy some chicken. They had some very, very great chicken, and you know, I really enjoyed eating the cartilage all the way to the bone, you know. So that's usually what I would do. But whenever I was in Mocha, the Fijian guy was a cook, and he was really big on cooking. I was not big on cooking. I hated cooking. That's why I always bought my food, or just bought something quick that I can, hey, a banana or some peanut butter or something like that. That was me all day. But my living accommodation there, it was much roomier. I had much more space than I did living in Tokyo, which is expected, of course. So I lived, like I said, a Go LDK, which is like basically like a 5-bedroom, and I live on the 3rd floor, and I slept on the tatami mat for like a year again. That was fine. But afterwards, I ended up getting like this little bed, and I slept on this bed, so it was fine. I had like some Japanese curtains that I put up and stuff like that, and then like I made this I made like this heat containment center, because whatever temperature it was outside, that's what it was inside. So there was no like central heating and air, at least where I was, you know. So if it was like snowing outside, it felt like it was snowing inside. So I think what I did, I had to hang up all these long sheets and curtains, and then I stuck like this heater like in front of them in such a way where the heat would stay right there on me. So basically the heat was only like right there, like it was literally like the length of my body, and whenever I would get up and go out of that pocket that I created, everywhere else was cold. Everywhere. It was so cold. Man, like, I don't know how I survived, but it was a very humbling experience again. Yeah, and that's pretty much the way it is in the majority of Japan. They don't really have central heating and air, and essentially you have to just kind of buy like these wall ACs or these wall heaters or these space heaters, you know, in a sense, to keep you warm, or you know, or keep you cold, or you know, you'll freeze in the winter and you'll burn in the summer. I remember just sweltering heat whenever the summer came. I mean, like, I don't think I had like a real AC. So basically, I was just up there burning, and I was on the 3rd floor, so all the heat rose up to the 3rd floor. So I was literally just in there, just just sweltering, you know? So that's kind of what you have to look out for if you move to Japan. No central heating in the air, and whatever the temperature is outside is going to be inside. Make sure that you kind of invest in some type of portable AC or something like that. I only had a fan, so I just suffered through it. But for the most part, if you try to just go there thinking it's gonna be like America, it's not. You're gonna be like disappointed, and you're gonna want to leave. So just kind of take that into consideration while you're there. They also got super toilets. That it kind of cleans you. You can sit on this super toilet, and the super toilet. This is. I know this is strange, but I think the super toilet was the best toilet experience I had in my lifetime. So you just go in there, you push this button, and it cleans your bottom, and it also gets warm, so it feels like you kind of sitting on like one of those massage chairs, but it's for your butt and everything. And there's like a geyser that comes up and cleans you. It had all these fancy things. The main part was that the toilet got warm, in like the winter. So you really enjoyed just being on the toilet because it was like it was warm. It was the only other warm place, because all throughout the house it was cold, because there's no central heating in there. So you're just like tiptoeing if you don't have socks on, or you're trying to hurry up and go to another room that has AC or some heat, and you're just doing that. So basically, like I said, the two best times to live in a house is going to be the two best times, which is going to be fall and spring. So during fall and spring, you didn't really need the AC or the heater. And the fall, it was the same thing. You didn't really need the heater or AC. So yeah, those are just some things to kind of take into consideration before moving there.